ones. I'm not sure which one they use, but top 8 RPI, top 5 strength of schedule, and 5-0 against the ACC. So you put all those things into play. I mean, we had the resume, and when you get down there at the end, there's so many teams that are deserving. Everyone has a resume, and that's what they end up doing in that committee. Is they look at all the resumes, they match them up, and they see who deserves the most. And fortunately, we got the nod, and we're a national seed.
Hearing you say that, would you have been disappointed if you guys hadn't ended up with a national seed?
Yes, I would have been disappointed. I would have tried not to show it when it came up. You don't want but our play. When you see the actual reaction, it was a genuine reaction. We did not know. We did not get tipped off. Sometimes you get tipped off early. Yeah. We had no clue whether or not we were getting. So when it got to 8, it had to be us or not, one or the other. And it was an explosion in our locker room. Yeah, and that video will come out. It's an awesome. It will be an awesome sight. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But it was a genuine reaction. Just a lot of joy. I mean, joy and excitement. I mean, I think those are probably the 2 best words to use to describe it. Where we were, it was funny. Where we were watching it, we were streaming it. So we were maybe 30 seconds behind the actual telecast. So we had told our guys, stay off your phones. Don't ruin it. Let's watch it live here. What we're seeing. And my phone was in my pocket on silent, and it was buzzing like crazy at number 6. When Florida State got announced at number 6, it just started buzzing over and over, and I thought in my head, like, there's no way I'm getting that many texts after something negative. There's no way, because I knew we were behind. Yeah. And so I was hopeful that that's what it meant, but it could have very easily been, Coach, I can't believe that happened to you. You guys deserve it. But it was a lot of congratulatory texts that I was getting when number 6 got announced. So had a decent feeling, but I still didn't know, and it just awesome feeling for us.
What was confidence level going in Hoover and coming out of Hoover as far as how you felt about the national seed?
To me, I think going in, I felt like it's a lock. When we beat Arkansas, when we won that series, I actually told our players, congratulations, we're a national seed. I really felt like that we deserved it once we beat Arkansas to finish winning 3 out of 4 against Florida State. Beating Florida right there at the end and beating Arkansas 2 out of 3, I felt like we played ourselves into a national seed. Then all of a sudden you go 0-2, you lose that heartbreaker to Ole Miss. Then all of a sudden you start looking, and there's other resumes that match up that are deserving. So I told my wife this morning, she asked me what I thought. I said it's coin flip. I thought it could have gone either way, and I'm very grateful that it went our way.
I think Ole Miss winning the tournament helped y'all at all?
I don't know. I really don't. It might have gave us a little jump in the RPI, but I really don't know. I mean, I felt like they were certainly them, Florida, and Arkansas, those 3 teams, I mean, almost clones of each other, as good a team as you're going to see, and we went toe-to-toe with all of them. So I think that's a reflection of our team, but I don't know ultimately if that ended up helping us or not.
Now comes to Harvard. Do you know anything about the Camels at this moment? I mean, it's not like you keep up with those guys during the year, I would think.
We don't know anything. So that's what we'll be doing the rest of today and tomorrow and Wednesday, is just collecting video, talking to other coaches, getting input on the teams that we're playing to know as much as we can know about them. We'll be able to get a lot of video on Duke, obviously, because they've played in the ACC, but finding some video on Campbell might be tough. So the same thing with Troy. We'll have some games that we'll be able to get and watch. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now, is collecting information. Don't know much about them right now, but by Friday night we'll know a lot.
Being 5-0 against ACC kind of give a little extra confidence.
Oh, there's no question. We played really well against Clemson and Tech, and that certainly helped our resume. But Duke, Coach Pollard's done a great job at Duke. They've turned that program around, and they were in the conversation for a national seed a couple weeks ago, and that's how far they've come. So they're really good. They're very talented. They've got 2 of the best hitters in the country in that lineup. So it'll be.
Duke does.
Duke does, yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, Jeff Conine's son.
Conine's son, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he can really hit. He can really hit.
Yeah.
So, in Troy, Troy's a great team that I got a lot of respect for their staff and what they've been able to do. So just all in all, it's going to be a challenge. When you get to this level, everybody's good. Everyone's going to have guys on the mound that can shut you down. So we're going to have to play our best to get out of this region.
No idea yet how you're going to set up the pitching staff?
Chase Atkins will go Friday.
Chase will,
and
okay.
that's we'll just keep it the way it is. Chase will go Friday. We're not going to change anything, and we'll make the decision on Saturday. Right now we're leaning towards Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith has kind of pushed him, pitched himself into that spot. We feel like Kevin will probably throw in the 2-hole, and then Emerson most likely in the 3-hole. But we haven't decided for sure, but that's kind of the way we're leaning. But I think it'll go Atkins, Smith, and Hancock.
Think we'll get Tucker back?
Yes. Yeah, he practiced yesterday and he's feeling better. And yeah, I'm very confident that he'll be back on Friday night.
How do you handle that when a new guy who was in the lineup and then he gets hurt and then he's coming back? You just immediately put him right back in?
Yeah, I mean, he'll get at bats this week. We inter-squatted yesterday. We gave him 2 days off. Friday, Saturday, we let him rest. And I thought that was really important. At the end of the day, that's pretty big. They still get a national seed, but also get a couple days to put your feet up. That was important for us, and because we were a little banged up. And but yesterday we inter-squatted. Tucker played the outfield. He hit and looked fine. So we still have some restrictions on him just to make sure that he doesn't do anything to tweak it this week. But he'll be pretty close to 100% on Friday.
Obviously, you get to sleep in your own bed. Obviously, your crowd is going to be cheering for you when you get ahead and you make an out. What are some inherent advantages just to knowing you're going to be home throughout this thing?
Well, I think that feeding off the energy, the home crowd. I mean, there's no question. I don't think it's a coincidence when you look at people's home records. It's I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what is our home record, Lake. Is it 29 and 6 at home?
100%.
But our home record speaks for itself. We play really well here, and our crowds have been great all year long. And I think it'll be electric. I know it'll be electric on Friday night.
You kind of feels like I've asked you this every week or whatever, but when you're sitting there in preseason, now it's a reality. You're sitting there in preseason and you're enumerating goals either on a whiteboard or in your mind or whatever you communicate with the team. Did you see this? I mean, Omaha's always the goal for everybody, but did you see sitting right here based on the roster you had?
Our first goal was to get in the postseason. That's what we told our guys. We need to get our seniors in the postseason. We've still got a young club. I thought it was important for our young guys to get in the postseason to get that experience. But then as the season goes on, your goals change a little bit. And then it became, I think the Texas A&M series, when we beat Texas A&M here and went 2 out of 3 against them, that's when, you know what, we're pretty darn good. That's when the reality started hitting that we are a good team. And look at our RPI and look at our record and where we are. Heck, we could be in the conversation to host a regional. And then all of a sudden you go up to Missouri, and when we swept Missouri, I think that's when the national seed really came into reality that this can happen. And we didn't talk about it too much. We just talked about taking care of what we need to take care of and playing for our seniors. That's kind of been our goal all year long, is play for these 5 guys. And Keegan McGovern's kind of the heart and soul of our team. He came back when he got offered to go play professional baseball. He wanted to come back for this reason. So that's been kind of our rallying cry, to play for our seniors. And our kids have really taken to that. And here we are. But to say that I thought we were going to be a national seed, if I would have told you on February 16th that we're going to be a national seed, I don't know how many eyes would have rolled. But I wasn't going to say that. That's what your goal ultimately is. But our first initial goal is let's get this program back into postseason.
What's the biggest thing that Pete Hughes brought to this program this year?
He brings energy. I mean, he just brings a lot of energy, and he's having a second voice is really important. He still has that head coach in him, and that's what I told him when he came in. I go, hey, I'm checking my ego at the door. I want you to coach. If you see it, say it. That goes with me. It goes with the staff. It goes with the team. And but he's also been able to, in the position that he's in, he's also in a unique position where he can be really loose with the guys. Yeah. He's really enjoyed it. I think he's going to be a head coach this summer. He's going to be named a head coach. I don't think there's any question. But I think he'll look back at this year as a very rewarding year because he's been able to kind of step back and see things from a different perspective. But he's been a tremendous help to me, someone that I can bounce stuff off of, a head coach for 21 years. And I wasn't afraid to ask, and he wasn't afraid to tell me. But he also was really good with our players. He did a great job with our infielders. He's hard on them, but he has a way about him that he can be hard on them, but they can still kind of laugh about it a little bit. And he's just got a unique personality about him. But yeah, that's a huge. Coach Kenny and Coach Hughes really transformed our staff.
How did it come about that he joined us? Of course, he lost his job in Oklahoma, and then after that happened, how did y'all kind of get hooked up?
Well, I interviewed 5 or 6 people this summer to be the volunteer, and usually the volunteer is a guy that just got out of pro ball.
Exactly.
A young up-and-coming kid. That's how I got my start. Got out of pro ball. What do? I became a volunteer coach, and I'd interviewed quite a few guys and really liked some of the candidates that we had. But I just got a random text message out of nowhere. What do you think about Pete Hughes? And my response in text was, "Are you serious?" And say, "Yeah, he wants to coach. He made the decision. He wants to coach this year. And what do you think?" So I gave Pete a call. We didn't know each other well. We played against each other when I was at Kent and he was at Virginia Tech. So that's the only way we've ever talked. And so we kind of got hooked up. We talked a few times on the phone. He came over to Athens. We sat down and had lunch. And the first thing that he said to me is, "If you bring me here, you're going to have to trust me." Meaning that he's here to help, not to do anything other than help us. And I never once looked over my shoulder. I never once thought, hey, I got this guy who's an experienced head coach. He's going to be a head coach again. And I never felt anything other than this guy is here to help us. And because he took that approach, he's helped himself. And I'm grateful that he came here, and he's made a big impact on us.
The kids talk